There we go. Worked this time. There we go. Worked this time. Working? Oh, man. There we go. Wait. Finally. Okay. There you go. I tried to go live a second ago, and it didn't work. Don't know why. It just, like, failed and didn't connect, so I had to start over. If you're here, welcome. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. What do you think? Has they announced the 11? I mean, I know what it is, but have they announced the 11? Ruud out. Have they announced the 11? I have the boy is a full-time streamer. I know, man. I mean, at least I have some enthusiasm back for everything, so it's been easier. You haven't seen I thought the lineup was announced because the game's in an hour and 10 minutes, right? I thought it was announced 75 minutes beforehand now. Or is that just for the Prem and Europa, but still not for the League and FA Cup? No, Amos is not starting. Maybe he'll get minutes. It's hard to know on that. I haven't seen it anywhere. Right, I thought they added it for all the English comps to match the timing of the like the European competitions have always done that 75 minutes. So Rashford's still on the right. Gonna be funny if Amorim comes in and does the same thing. I think it's pretty much impossible for Amorim to come in and do the same thing because let's say Rashford was on the right. What right? Right wing back? Because that would actually be quite different. Even. I feel like it's all revealed as of now. The whole 11. I think it's all revealed. I mean, between the leaks and everything, I think it's all out there. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's released their lineups. I'm confused. It is late. It's supposed to be out. Everything's been published. Leicester just published their lineup 2 minutes ago. All right, I'm gonna put it. I'll do it. That's fine. Yeah. No, like it's supposed to be published by now. I'm almost confident that it's supposed to be the 75-minute thing, unless I missed the boat. This is the lineup. I'm sure it's supposed to be out by now. I thought it was. My bad. My bad if I'm leaking it, but yeah, because Leicester's is published. It's got to be out there. I mean, it's all been leaked. It's all been leaked. It's all been leaked anyway. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be published by now. But yeah, I think this is it. I believe this is the lineup. Ruud. You guys are funny. I thought it was hilarious. Like people are very very negative to it. But no, this is all the leaks pieced together. And she's now one Academy graduate in every matchday squad for 87 years, dating back to 30 October 1937. That's pretty cool. It's still a cool record for us. Could it be Dallo left back? No, I believe it's Dallo right back and Lissandro left back. That could be 3 back. I don't think so. I mean, we'll see what it looks like in game, but like, I was like, why is there a live tonight? Then I realized we're playing. See what Ten Hag did to me. Yeah, Ed, I know. It's like lack of goals. Just you wait. Just you wait. We've got goals aplenty. We've got goals aplenty. It's really funny. Yeah, I'll come back to this once the lineup is officially published because I'm confused. There's all these so right now there's all these stories about like Santi J said it's all done, and we've agreed with him, agreed with the coaches just a few minutes ago. Luckhurst says the deal for him is agreed. But they're not clarifying when they're saying this if they've agreed on the timing of him joining yet, and that still seems to be up in the air. Is it the international break? Is it after City? Is it after Friday? Is it tomorrow? Is it today? All of that. We don't actually know. If he subs Rashford for Ahmad instead of Garnacho, will confirm all we need to know about Harry Ten Hag. Look, they obviously ended up, we kind of discussed this, right? They obviously didn't necessarily want Ruud to be the long-term manager for a reason. So they didn't do anything until they had a new one lined up. I'm just saying maybe this is why. Ravel Burns, I think Garnacho will be a wing-back. Amorim uses one wing-back as a wide attacking winger, and most times from what I see, he has the ability to do it. You're speaking my language. You are speaking my language. We're speaking my language with that. Someone said, hi, James, I really liked your video analyzing why managers had failed. Thank you. I thought it was pretty interesting. I was thinking about it last night. I kind of try to figure out, because I've been trying to figure out, you know, when I have inspiration, I want to make more videos and share, because it's not like I think I'm necessarily like a thought leader or something like this. It's more just a simple, I feel like there's a lot of people who think similarly, and sometimes it's hard to express it, and that it would be just an interesting concept to look through that as an opinion, and kind of, I just went through them and built it and then said, okay, cool. This makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, Garnacho will struggle? Maybe. Who are these people? Yeah, we're playing a really weak Leicester side. I mean, Ward, Justin, Cody, Okali, Thomas, I can't pronounce half of these names. Skip, Sumare, McAteer, De Cordova, Reed, and Jordan Ayew. I would be nervous if it's close and Jamie Vardy comes on. The team is not leaked early. This team is actually leaked incredibly late. It's like 15 minutes. I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's my problem with most of the tacticos on Amorim right now. Okay, for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you will know I've been watching and following. No Vardy on the bench. Oh, good to know. I've been watching and following Portuguese football for years, since I was hyping up Darwin Núñez, who I still think is a very good player, mind you. I think he's fallen into a really interesting role at Liverpool, where he's not really a 9. He's almost like turning into a little bit of like a playmaking 10. It's kind of odd, but he's quite good at it, actually. I've been following Portuguese football for a long time, and I guarantee you that I've watched a hell of a lot more Sporting than 99% of these tacticos who are now analyzing one game or two games and then comparing it to our team. Yeah, I mean, we've been watching for a long, long time back there. The Bruno games before that, and I've kept an eye on Sporting and on Portuguese football quite a lot since then. I've watched a lot of Sporting this last year as well, on Amorim and on Hjulmand, because Hjulmand was of interest too. So, you know, there's a lot to look at. Gyökeres. The thing about it is that I think a lot of them just get things so wrong. You know, examples. Look at the hype on Amrabat. You know, look at all the hype on Amrabat. Look at the hype on Youssouf Fofana. People were sitting here giving me a hard time about Ugarte, saying we should have got Fofana. Have you seen him for Milan? He's exactly as bad as it was if you just watch him play football. He's horrible. He's clumsy. He looks out of shape. He's like, his technique is horrendous. You can just watch him and see it, and he's been really bad for Milan too. I mean, you can watch some highlights of Scott McTominay yesterday playing against Milan, and Fofana like is completely befuddled by Scott McTominay. Now, how is that going to work in the Premier League? Scott sent him exactly. Scott like had him out of his fucking boots, and we know what Scott is. Scott's a good player. He's when you compare them, the quality, the physicality of the leagues, you can see it's a little bit of an easier league when you compare that. But if he can't handle Scott McTominay, he was going to be a disaster in the Premier League. And people are like, I'm not saying Scott isn't playing well, but but it's like a lot of these analysis are crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like that guy was not going to make it in the Premier League. But people get so insistent on it. And I think, honestly, in a lot of cases, not all of them, a lot of cases, people aren't, maybe they don't see it, so you see certain things. Maybe I don't. There's certainly things I could be wrong about. No doubt about that. I'm wrong pretty often. But I've watched a hell of a lot of Amorim, and there's the idea that he doesn't fit our squad is totally incorrect. And that is the view of management as well, of the management as well. The view of the leadership is that Amorim absolutely fits our squad. That's why they're going for him. It's a big reason for it. Are there more things that we need to play into his tactics? Absolutely. Of course, but we need those things anyway. We need a fullback on the left, no matter what happens. We need a left-sided space defender, no matter what happens. But there's a lot of similarities between his squad and ours. Is the lineup officially out? Okay. Let me just check, and then I'll put it back on the screen. Oh, I put Onana in mine. I actually didn't even know who the goalkeeper was. I just defaulted to Onana. Let me fix that. Yeah, otherwise it's correct. I put Onana in mine. It's Bayindir. Bayindir played the last cup game, right? I just defaultly put Onana into my lineup. But yeah, good. Bayindir did play the cup game before, right? I didn't even think of that. I like Ten Hag, I forgot all about Bayindir. My apologies there. But otherwise, yeah, this is the lineup. It didn't even register in my mind about the keepers. Newport, right, yes. He had nothing to do. We won 7-0. No, Barnsley, right? Yeah, this is the lineup. I mean, look, it's really not that different than usual, right? These two interchanging up front. They'll both be kind of dropping deep. But it's true that it could just as easily in game shift into a nice little 3-4-2-1. Flip players makes it so that the goalkeeper's at the top. I hate it. I can't stand looking at the lineup that way. In possession, it could very much look like this. Unfortunately, the reason I don't think so is because it always ends up being Rashford deep. For whatever reason. Deep and wide. Like, this would make more sense. With the same lineup, you could just push it to the side a little bit. Just a little shift, and you get Rashford as a narrow forward in an interchangeable front three. And Garnacho wide, where he's better as a wide player. I think he's better as a wide player. That's what I would do anyways with this. In game, I would say, all right, Dowlow, you got license to get forward. Garnacho, stay wide and get back. We'll start in a 4-4-2, but it is a 4-4-2 to a 3-4-2-1 is quite literally one shift. That's the interesting part about it. It's one shift. It's quite close, quite similar. One tiny little shift. Because you already have a narrow front two. You only need to make a narrow front three. Yeah, in possession, out of possession, you never know. So why are you always giving me a hard time? We will do a watch along for this. We had a great number of people watching to just watch sporting yesterday. It was a lot of fun, but obviously a little more fun when we can all watch United. Um, let me see what's going on here. Sorry. Um, Amos, Jack Fletcher, Fitzgerald, and Wheatley all on the young bench. That's good. What do you think? Injury updates? Hey, you know what's the least surprising thing ever? You know what the here, I'll put this back up. Sorry. You know what the least surprising thing is ever? That Christian Eriksen picked up an injury. How many times have we said over the last few weeks, playing every single game in a deep position for a player of his age and at this point in his career is just absurd. Does not have the legs for it, is going to get burned out. Is that like not the most obvious thing that was ever going to happen with this overusage, over reliance? It's so self-inflicted, the problems that we have. It's so self-inflicted, these injuries. You know, when you read about the whole thing, which I said all last year and took a hell of a lot of criticism for. You know, when you read these things about how when they would lose, they'd get extra training, so then they'd be tired, so then they'd get extra training again, and then they would get injured. Like, I told you they were doing extra training and that they were being overworked. That's not about the players not getting it. You enter in every single game tired, you're more likely to play poorly and pick up injuries. And a lot of people were feeling that they were going into each game more as tired as they were at the end of the last one without the ability to actually rest, refresh, and recover properly. It's crazy. This stuff is so self-inflicted, and the amount of excuses that got shoved in there was absolutely wild to me. He lost his mind. Lost his mind. That's what I think. Lost his mind. The players look tired at the start of games. Yeah, we'd start every game. And you remember when we beat Chelsea and Scott McTominay said we had a lighter training, and then Ten Hag denied it? Yeah, Mazraoui's healthy on the bench, which I did share yesterday too. Remember when Scott McTominay kind of let that slip after the Chelsea game? He said we trained lighter this week, and then Ten Hag went on a rampage denying it. You know, in the pressers and things like that, and saying that there was nothing to do with it. You trust when a player slips up in a post match little interview like that in the heat of the moment, because we looked fresh that game. You know, we looked fresh that game. Yeah, he got extra laps for that. You picked Bayindir in your predictions? Nice. One thing I don't like about tonight's lineup is the single. You mean that we should have more, or you just don't like Marcus Rashford? Because he could be taken both ways. Do you mean we should have more English players? United are ill-equipped to thrive in both of his variations as they lack CBs that can defend channels, wingbacks that can cross, and are overloaded by players that can thrive in half spaces. Why do you think that doesn't fit him? Firstly, I disagree on the channel defense, because Lenny Yoro is one of the most promising young channel defenders in the world. I had a feeling that's what you meant, Ed, by the way. Just teasing a little bit. Lenny Yoro is an excellent channel defender. The 3-4-2-1 specifically plays a lot in the half spaces in attack. Someone tagged me in something. Hold on a second. Oh, that Andrea Berto was leaving. Okay, cool. Anyway, De Ligt isn't terrible, but he's a really good central center back. The attack is all about half spaces and all about the three playing in a very fluid front in half spaces. And in terms of putting crosses in, well, we need somebody over here who can, but Garnacho can actually cross the ball decently well. Mazraoui over here can also. And we already kind of know what we need to sign in terms of a left back and a left center back. So it's not really much different. It's not. I think we've got a lot of players that thrive in it. Quite frankly, quite a lot. And like I said, I'm continuously surprised by how many people don't. Now, yeah, you're right. The team lacks left footers. So if we sign a left-footed center back, a left back, and another midfielder or a left-sided attacker, then it works really well. Can you see Xerxes as the left forward in the system? Sure. Like if we were to play this team that we've just fielded, if we were to they're not all great channel defenders, but if we were to play this team that we just fielded, right? It could easily float into something like this in the 3-4-2-1. It's very fluid. It could easily float into this. Like if you were to pick this exact team, just for example, it would look a lot like this. You probably would swap these. Because Lindelof is more of a sweeper. I'm not saying he has pace, but there's also different types of center backs. Not all center backs have to be fast in order to be channel defenders or sweepers. Lindelof tends to be a retreating defender who's a cover center back, while De Ligt and Lissandro tend to be more aggressive, which is why I'm not sure about this. Usually you'd want two sweepers, perhaps, but it would actually look a lot like this if you pick this exact team in Amorim's system, and a fair number of them fit this. A fair number of them fit this. Now, I would obviously say it's a better fit if you put Rasmus Højlund in for any one of these players, and then it would be a bit better. But otherwise, it's not that different. It's not. It really does kind of fit it quite well. A lot of them have the ability. The biggest thing is you need really hard work and ground coverage from these four right here. These are the players you need to be running the hardest, covering the most ground at all times. And I actually think these are four decent players at that. So, but Yoro can do it. Yeah, Varane could do it. Yep, Yoro will do it. Yeah, Yoro will be that guy for sure. So I don't know. I'm surprised. I think anybody who doesn't feel like is fit have just not watched Amorim's team enough. Even this lineup proves that Amorim isn't going to having to put square pegs in round holes to get a system work. It's exciting. True. Beyond maybe one or two positions where we know we need improvement anyways, right? But we'll see. And I really wouldn't worry about the three at the front in terms of Xerxes and all of them and how they fit, because it's very fluid. And when you're playing in the Premier League, you need a lot of movement and you need a lot of people doing different things. So I expect it to be very, very fluid under Amorim anyway. It will be very fluid, but it'll be fun. I mean, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. Yeah, Xerxes played. A lot of these guys have played in back three systems. I mean, down to Maguire, Johnny Evans. He's played in a back three with Maguire. There's a lot of players who've played this. Again, the left backs. But here's what's crazy. Here's the funny part. If Luke Shaw did come back, and that's where it's like, I get it, Luke Shaw's injured. But saying that he doesn't fit, if Luke Shaw comes back, this is literally his position. It's literally his position. Like, he's so good as a left wing back. He's better than he is as a left back because he's not as good defensively. I'm just saying, I understand he's very injured, but when you talk about squad fit, that is literally Luke Shaw's position. He's so good in carrying through the middle of the pitch and in interplays in the final third, low crosses, overlaps, things like that. He does absolutely everything you would want out of that position. So I'm saying that, when they looked at the squad in the summer, he can be a left center back, but like he's also done it for England as a left wing back, successfully. Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of players who've done this. Yeah, this is tonight's lineup. Yep. He does suit a left center back and a back three for sure. Yeah, there's a number of things, but he can play. He can play, you know. And yeah, there's other names. So yes, we would need someone else, but yeah, no. This is the formation. I'm just messing with the formation. I'm just playing with. It's because you never know, right? But it's this. It is a 4-4-2. Just to be clear, this is the formation. Yeah, Alphonso Davies. Bring back Alvaro Fernandez. There's thought about it. There's thought about it. They are looking at him. They are keeping an eye on him. Bring back Alvaro in January. I see no reason not to. Give him the starting spot day one. Let him in there. Why not? I think Amas does lack physicality. That's my own assessment of it. I don't really like this as a 4-4-2. I don't really like it as a 4-4-2. And, you know, like when you have these just two midfielders, right? The reason the three at the back works better is you have your center back kind of clogging up the middle. In a 4-4-2, I'm not sure. I mean, we played a 4-4-2 when Carrick came in as interim, you know, after Solskjaer was sacked for those 3 games, and it worked really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar. We'll probably not press high, set up in a bit of a mid block, and then go. With 6 months on his contract, surely Alphonso Davies and Alvaro Fernandez would be about the same cost. Go for Alphonso Davies. Yeah, but he's probably, 1, the wages are a huge difference, and then 2, he's probably going to Madrid. I mean, based on everything we're hearing, he's probably going to Madrid. Alvaro would work. He would work well, and he's young. And I think part of the issue is that, like, there's got to be a balance too. Like, are we ready to buy ready-made players, or should we keep up buying that balance? You know, Lenny Yoros, those kind of guys who are going to grow with the team. I understand we thought that about Euro. I totally understand. But if Madrid didn't have to pay, they would have got him. That was not the issue. Madrid didn't go for him. You do understand there's a difference, right? Madrid wouldn't put the money up for him. Alphonso Davies is a free agent. In January, he can sign a pre-contract with them. They didn't want to pay the money for Euro. There is a big difference there. If they had paid, we wouldn't have Lenny Euro. Let's be real for a minute. If they had matched our bid, he's in Madrid, not here. But we played it well because we knew they didn't want to pay. It's okay. You know, this was kind of this thing, you know, when I was talking earlier about like Amorim and like top choice and blah, blah, blah. Who cares if we weren't Lenny Yoro's top choice? We got the deal done for a great player. It's not meaningful. People put too much stock on those types of things, you know, on those top choices and stuff like that. Yoro should be back after the next international break. I think he'll be training with the team by then. I don't know if he'd be ready to start, obviously. Sancho's not in the Chelsea squad again. That's pretty funny. Oops. American Goldbridge. US Goldbridge. What an insult. I don't think I have very much similarities at all. Fans are in a good... I think people are pretty happy. I mean, the vibe all around with fans, with everybody is huge. I mean, the viewership on the videos and lives and things like that has practically doubled, you know, since the changes. So All right, well, that's it. The game starts in 40 minutes. I'm probably going to go live on a watch along in about 30. And go over things, discuss it, have fun over there. The link is below. We'll see what happens. We don't really have any current updates on, on Amorim or anything. So, let's just see what happens here. Let's see if we can enjoy it. We've got a lot of games to go. Hopefully we win tonight. Stay in all competitions would be good. Give time for Amorim to get in. So let's see. Let's hope we do really well. I'm not going to say Ruud out because it's pointless. There's nothing in that, and that's not how I judge things anyway. Even if I didn't like the lineup, that's not really the point, is it? Anyway, yeah, so have a good one, and hopefully I'll see you all in the watch along. The link is below. Join me over there, and I hope to see you very, very soon, and hopefully we're back later with a good win. See you later.